Have you ever been bothered by any unpleasant thoughts or images that repeatedly enter your mind, like concerns with contamination?
Yeah, I mean, I work in a restaurant, so if I contaminate something, then maybe someone dies. Maybe I get sick and die, so I have to make sure that all of my crew people wash their hands. I don't stand over them in the bathroom or anything like that. But if I think, Ralph is kind of lazy, maybe he didn't wash his hands, he hands me a pan, I'm gonna wash my hands to make sure that I'm safe anyway. If he wants to get sick, he can get sick.
Do you ever worry about getting a serious illness like AIDS or hepatitis C or something like that?
Yeah, who knows what this guy has? That's why I make sure to wash my hands. I think statistically in hospitals, if people, when they put in the hand sanitizers, cross contamination went down like something 80% or whatever. I see that, and that's what I'm trying to implement in my life. I don't need AIDS or nothing.
Do you have to keep objects in a certain order or arranged exactly a certain way?
Yeah, what do you mean objects? Just like,
Do things need to be facing a certain direction? Do you have to have maybe your tools or supplies in a certain order?
Well, everything should be labeled out so that you can see it, so that you know what it is. If it's turned some way, you might grab the wrong thing, poison somebody, kill them. Who knows? They could be allergic to this or that.
Have you worried a lot about terrible things happening, like a fire or an earthquake?
Well, I make sure that the oven is shut off every night. Sometimes I even have to go back to check because I do not want a fire in that place. And I mean, yeah, look, we're in California. There's gonna be earthquakes. They happen all the time, and you never know when one could show up. I mean, we've got the loading dock in the back, and these big trucks come flying in, and they'll bump the dock and shake the building. Sometimes even that will drop some pots or pans or something. And what happens if an earthquake happens? The whole place is gonna fall down, and it's doomsday.
So do you ever worry about maybe accidentally hitting a pedestrian with your car or something like that?
Uh, when I'm driving, yeah, if I'm driving and I'm going the speed limit, I'm a little late, maybe I need to pick it up. What if some kid jumps out and like spins his basketball into the road? I don't want to be that guy, so then I slow down and now I'm late for work or something like that, and you just can't win with these things.
Have you ever worried about acting on an unwanted or senseless urge or impulse, like pushing a stranger in front of a bus? Or
No.
do you ever feel driven to perform certain acts over and over again, like excessive hand washing or cleaning or doing your hair?
Well, yeah, I wash my hands every time I touch something gross. I eat pots, pans, utensils, the spices, and everything. The spices need to be in order, and they need to be alphabetical so that you can find them. They need to be filled. They can't be halfway empty, or else what's the point? 'Cause you're just going to run out of it.
Do you ever have to feel like you have to check the light switch or see if the door's locked?
The light switch I try to avoid touching. If I can, I'll, elbow it because everybody touches that thing. Nobody's cleaning the light switch, and I tell you, I'm not going to clean it either. In the door locking, I mean, you've got to, when you lock a door, I don't know if you know this, but you have to lock it, open it, lock it at least 2 times to make sure that there's no mechanical problems with the deadbolt.
Okay, so you do that every time that you have to lock the door?
Yes.
Okay. Do you ever repeat certain actions or repeat routine actions a certain number of times until it feels right? similar to, turning the light switch on and off or lighting, relighting a cigarette.
Well, for like inventory, let's talk about that. I'll do inventory in my head, even if it's not directly in front of me. Kind of like counting sheep. I'll have to count sheep, for lack of a better term, make sure that there's enough, like we get to an even number. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of abstract, but
No, that makes sense. When did these types of symptoms and behavior start for you?
well, I mean, as far as I can remember, like my mother kept a very organized house, and she made sure our rooms were clean. We cleaned our rooms and didn't mess with her kitchen area, so we didn't hurt ourselves or whatever, break something expensive.
Would you say that these symptoms have been ongoing, continual since you were a kid, or they just occasionally come up?
No, I mean, I guess I'm more self-aware that I do them, and it gives me a purpose to do them because I have a reason to. Otherwise, before I was just doing these weird things, but
What, if anything, seems to improve the symptoms? Does anything help make them less intrusive or?
Well, when I have when I go to work and I take the OxyContin to help with my back, then I can kind of ease down a little bit and get into my day, but it's not like it stops.
Is there anything that makes it worse?
When I don't have it, then I can just focus on my pain. And what if now that these spices aren't filled up, so that's gonna make my back hurt more. They're not in order. That's gonna make my legs hurt more. I just know that, and it just spirals into just a longer, more painful day.
How do these symptoms affect your daily life? The intrusive thoughts and kind of some of the ritualistic behavior. How does that affect you?
Well, I mean, it's like having a radio on like all the time. Like there's listening to a song you don't want to listen to for all day. You're just getting rickrolled by yourself, and so that's why I can have a couple beers with my buddies and try and focus my attention on anything else, and that usually helps a little bit.
Okay. Do you have any relatives that have mental health issues?
Have you met my family?
I have not.
I mean, I'm not a doctor. Who knows? Maybe.
Okay. Have you ever experienced any type of trauma or major stress?
Yeah, I fell off of a roof while I was painting it, and that killed my back, which is this whole pain situation that I've been talking about, and losing the OxyContin and not having that makes everything more stressful. And yeah, I think I'd classify that as trauma.